Hello and welcome to everybody on Cloud Fitness. So in today's video of Python series, I'm going to talk about if, else and elif statements, which are also called as conditional statements in Python. So these are very important and we should all understand how these works, right? So whenever you have a very short piece of code, in that case, these might come handy and these might be very useful as well. So let's move on to the PyCharm editor and see exactly how we can use if, else and elif statements, right? So most of the things in Python, via their name itself, they are self-explanatory, right? So now in this case, for today's video, I've already created a py file and you have already watched my previous videos. You know that you can directly go to your Python project 01, create a new Python file from here and name it as if-else-elif .py. So basically here in this case I did not wanted to spend time writing in this particular video. That is why I have created a file already for you, right? So when we talk about if and else statements, so let me uncomment this part. Basically, in normal English as well, what do we do, right? What do we say? We say if this, do this, if this, do this, if this, do this, right? Else, do this, right? If none of the statements at the top are true, then do this. If else is exactly similar to what your literal English meaning of if else is. It is exactly same, right? So you do not have to think anything different from a normal English words for this if else statements. So now if you see in this particular case, what I have done, I have created a variable 01, I have created a variable 02. 1 is 8 and 1 is 5. Now I have given few conditions. These are also called as conditional statements, that if this condition is true, then do this, right? So if variable 1 is greater than variable 2, then print variable 1 is greater. If variable 1 is equal to variable 2, then print both variables are same. If variable 1 is greater than variable 2, right, then print both variables are same, right? So this is nothing but this is, I have kept it deliberately to show you something. So don't think that this is logically incorrect. I have kept it to show you something. Now if all these three conditions are not true, then in that case print variable 01 is lesser, right? Now if I run it, now you will see that it prints two statements. Variable 01 is greater and both variables are same. Now why did this happen? So what happened over here? Now we have to think logically. Variable 1 is 8. If 8 is greater than 5, print variable 01 is greater, right? Which is a true statement. So it printed variable 01 is greater. Then it went to the second if condition. Point to be noted, it went to the second if condition and it checked if variable 01 is equal to 02. Now this is a false condition, right? It is a false. 8 is not equal to 5. It went to the third if condition. Variable 01 is greater than variable 02, right? Now this condition is true again. So again it printed whatever was inside this particular statement and it printed both variables are same, right? So it printed, just because this condition was also true, this condition was also true, so it printed both of these statements, whatever was present inside these conditions. If conditions, whatever statements we had written, it printed both of these statements. And in case none of it would have been true, right? So let's say I keep both equal to over here, right? Because 8 is not equal to 5. Now all the conditions are wrong. Now if I run it, variable 01 is lesser will get printed because all my previous conditions were false. Now since all the if conditions did not satisfy, that is why your else condition got executed. So this is how your if and else conditional statement works, and this is the syntax. So you write if and after that you write the condition, right? And then you put colon and then you write whatever statements you want to execute. And at the end you can print, at the end similarly you can have an else statement. Now else does not need a condition, because what will happen is it will go through all the if conditions. If none of it is satisfied, it executes else statement. Now remember that in this if else statement, what happens is your Python will actually go ahead and it will check each of the if conditions. all three if condition here it is going to check. That is what I showed you as well, right? So it checks each and every if condition. Now if you don't want to do that, we go with ELIF condition. We go with ELIF condition. Now let me comment this particular piece of code and let me uncomment the later piece of code which uses ELIF. Now why do we use ELIF? We use ELIF because in few cases if we don't want Python to go through all the if conditions, right? If we don't want Python to validate all the if condition, we can use ELIF. Right? Now again I have a variable 018, variable 02 as 5. If the first if condition is variable 01 is greater than variable 02, which is true in this case, it says print variable 01 is greater. If variable 1 is equal to variable 2, then in that case print both variables are same. Now again if variable 01 is greater than 02, I have printed the same condition over here. I have tried to put same condition over here, right, just to show you how it executes, right? Same condition. Now after that I have also given an else part. Now if I try to run this, right, you will see that only one statement gets printed, which is variable 01 is greater, which is this one. Only this condition gets printed, even though this is also true, but still only the first one got printed, because in case you have used ELIF conditional statement, then in that case if the first condition is satisfied, it simply exits from the conditional statement. So that is always a difference you should remember. So ELIF conditions are used wherever you do not want Python to go through each and every single conditional statement, right? In that case you use ELIF. In case you want Python to go through each and every condition and check whether it is true or not, if true, execute it. In that case you go for if-else statement, right? So this is the difference between if and ELIF as well, right? So if I again write multiple if conditions over here, then in that case I will get two values as the output. Two statements will get executed. But now instead I have used ELIF over here, right? So this is the difference between if and ELIF, right? So these are called the conditional statements. So I hope you understood it, and do replicate in your own systems. Try to do hands-on so that you have a better grip of all this. So thank you so much for being till here.